Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to White Wolf Tarot. This is Lisa, your channeler for this morning. There are several messages here, but they all coincide. One being that this is directed at a feminine. This is directed at a feminine who has found or is finding inner strength to face big changes. You know, in most cases, I feel like some of us are finding our strength, but some of us have found it. You know what I mean? Like there's no going back. So we've found the strength to like face big changes, and they've led to like practical learning abilities and new inspiration. I feel like a lot of us have been blocked for numerous reasons, and we're not going to get into that. Like, I don't want it to be that kind of reading where I give so much clout to the naysayers and the haters, but they are here and they are very present. And there's one very dominant one, who is well aware, you know, because they're very much into their shenanigans and like, you know, the Seven of Swords energy, of just sneak peeking through everything this feminine does or says in her life, in her circles, in her background, like a shady fox, really. And for a long time, this person, this masculine, has, or actually take it as it resonates, you know, because it could be a feminine with high masculine energy, okay? But it is a masculine energy. And this is a message for the divine feminine, who is awakening or has awakened to her own strengths and her own powers. There's a message for you specifically before we get into like the happenings, because you have found such beautiful power within yourself and you're realigning to your true divinity and to your destiny. You're being asked with this King of Wands in reverse to not let that power or enthusiasm become ego driven. Okay, like you're gonna get a lot of recognition soon. And your spirit guides are guiding you and urging you to maintain in your sovereign energy, this Queen of Cups energy, you know, where it's about compassion and love. So when you're delivering messages or whatever it is that you choose to do for the world, to do it with heart, to put heart into your work so that it is not ego driven and that it's very specific, okay? And congratulations, by the way. Congratulations in working through the absolute bullshit that has occurred in your life's happenings over the last several years. And I mean, I say several, but it could actually be up to 15 years even. And then some. But I want to mention that today is Tuesday, and Tuesday is like, if we were put it in like spiritual manners, spiritually, Tuesday is what would it be? The Roman god of war, is what I want to say. Like, Tuesdays are ruled by Mars. Mars is ruled by the Roman god of war, and Mars is the planet of aggression. So the message here is to either prepare for battle or prepare for the mind to resolve all conflicts. And this is where the Queen of Cups comes in. Obviously, our message here today is to try and resolve conflict with heart rather than to engage in battle. Like, let the battle be from those mofos who are like, you know, just very persistent in fighting their fight in such a bad way, like just with animosity and hatred and envy and not wanting to have closure and things. Like, they wanted the life that they wanted, and they did their own dealings. Like, there's a few songs that came through with this reading. I wrote them down. Where are we? We've got On a Tuesday, and I've actually never liked that song. I never even knew the lyrics in it. I had to look them up. Drake and somebody else. It drove me crazy when it first came out, but like, I had to look into it. And there was a verse in there that says, I think we may be getting too deep. The shit I'm talking might be too true. And then there's another line that says, well, it's a very prominent line, but it says going up on a Tuesday. In the song, it's about the club going up on a Tuesday, party over here. But in this scenario, on this Tuesday with God, God of War, and the planet of aggression and preparing for battle, I think that I feel that there is an outsider who's not really an outsider. Like, again, I'm not going to get into the details of how these people came into the mix. We can get into that in another reading, or you can reach out to me and we can get into it. But there are others who have taken it upon themselves to oversee from the shadows what they were not seeing before. Like, there was just so much discrimination against this feminine, so much hatred and ridicule and slander, and big things need to happen. Like, there's some big choices that needed to be made, and they couldn't be made based upon these allegations. Like, either she's out or she's in, so we need to know where she stands, and so we need to outsource, and so we need to maybe hire a PI, maybe get somebody outside the box to look within and see what the fuck is going on. And that's what's happened. So in this case today, we are preparing to resolve conflicts. Like, somebody is prepared for battle. And the only reason I bring in the PI or those kinds of statistics is because they're also preparing for battle. Like, by now they've done their homework. They've done their homework for years now. And they know that this naysayer is actually a naysayer in general all by himself. And this naysayer does come in a group. There is a group involved, but there's a prominent energy of, like, who allowed all these ugly entities and attachments to come forth. It had to start somewhere, right? And some of us have such a mission in life that upon birth, we signed up for this shit. Like, we signed up for the struggle so that we could find our true divinity and our true destiny. And I mean, be careful what you wish for when you ask God to be at your hole, because he will give it to you, but it comes with this tower over and over and over and over. But because you found the courage and your inner strength to face these big tower changes, it's leading you to this judgment, Queen of Cups energy, where you are you're prevailing. You're at a rebirth, you're at a rejuvenation. You are in a place where you can finally allow your own instincts and your own intuition to guide you. And what your truth is, right? But there's been so much outside noise, confusing things, fogging things up. So it's really hard to see in a fog, right? And it's mystical, and it can be mysterious, sometimes scary. And that's what the naysayer wanted. That's what this motherfucker wanted. And that being said, this motherfucker, he is, he's at a point right now where he knows that this wheel has been put into effect, this wheel of change, this wheel of fortune. And so he's wanting to try one last trickery, one last hurrah before he either exits out, take that as it resonates, runs away, goes back into hiding, or just dismantles the shit out of everything just for cuzzies. The Knight of Wands, in this energy, once again, with the Seven of Swords, to me is like Tasmanian Devil energy. Knight of Wands alone with just the Wheel of Fortune would have been great, right? That would have been awesome. Nice, new creative passion and ready to conquer the world. The wheel has changed for us. We're ready to rock and roll. With the Seven of Swords, it's a definite energy of, like, he knows this energy is here. Somebody's ready to rock and roll, and he's either going to take one last time to, like, take some of their energy, siphon their creativity, because that's what they've been doing, these monetary spirits. They've definitely been in the background, like an everyday adventure. For this person, it's like that's his job. That's been his job, is to just dismantle this feminine's life. And in such a way that, like, this feminine could not in any way, shape, or form just get a leg up. And anytime she did, it would go back to that tower moment and a do-over, like starting at ground zero over and over again. And I can promise you, like, you would think this message was for me. But it's I am a part of the collective. So this is a collective message. This is a collective reading, but it applies to me as well. And so I'm very proud of this feminine, because this feminine is standing in her integrity. She's standing in her truth. And, you see this 10 of cups and this strength. And it is just such a beautiful energy of like healing. And it's like a profound, heart-centered awakening. And so you're asked to embrace your deepest intuition. It really is important to make, or to do that for making life decisions, significant life decisions. And it's really a highly positive sign for spiritual and personal development. And so your heart knows the way. Your heart has always known the way, but these naysayers and these monetary spirits were like invading your space, inviting your psyche, destiny swapping type of energy. Like they were siphoning the life right out of you. I want to go back to Tuesday, Hana Tuesday. I want to say that this other person, and it is a masculine energy, not the naysayer, not the icky, naysayer, ish talker. And this ish talker is somebody that you did have a history with, like a past history with, that might have been a big part of your history. To some, it might be an ex-husband, an ex-wife. You had children involved, so there was a lot of slander where this woman was just ostracized and felt completely alone. And that's the way that they wanted it. So, in this case, this other energy, it's come up as the King of Wands, and it's come up as the King of Pentacles, this other like PI energy where it's like, they're not fucking around. I'm sorry for the language. They're not messing around. They're here for a purpose, and that's to seek truth and shed light. And, a person like myself, I fight fair. Like, I fight fair. I feel like that's my job, to teach people how to not so much fight, but live through integrity, and live through honesty, and live through love and belonging. And, there are some of us out there who fight the good fight, but they are fighters. And so I was leaving a voice memo earlier about a message that I got earlier in the week about this King of Pentacles that came up. It wasn't in Tarot, it was in another deck. And his essence was like, if fighting fairly means to fail, he chooses foul. Like, he's going to choose foul. He's going to choose the way that's going to win an outcome, because it's time. It's time for this tower to happen so that this feminine can have everything that she deserves and everything that she's worth pretty much her entirety for. I feel like this feminine has had a lot of disruption in her life since birth. And for this reason, that reason, family disruption, not ever feeling loved or whole ever, her entirety. So giving love and wholeness to other people was a part of her mission without her even realizing why she was doing it. Like, she didn't want anybody else to feel the way she felt. I'm gonna cry. I'm sorry for anybody who has ever felt this way. Well, but I mean, the outcome is yours, feminine. The outcome is, and your reality is winning. Your reality is actually winning, and not by default. You've done the hard work. You've taken tower after tower after tower, like a punch to the face, man, with no guard, no gloves, no nothing. It's like everybody else was covered up and had their gloves and their mitts and their face gear and things, and training, and you just went in like it was a real fight, not knowing that that's what you were going in for. You had to learn on the way, so you kind of just became this grappler fighter with no guard whatsoever, and learn to thrive in that environment. And that's a hard shit. That's something hard to do. I don't know if I'm getting that out the way that I want to, but like, or the way that it's being told to me, but like, it's like, picture somebody in the ring, and you got two boxers. I've seen it in movies where one of them is gonna lose, and you got the underdog who is just like got his last breath in him, and you don't know if he's gonna make it or not. and the opponent chooses that time to cheat. They're gonna glue glass onto their mitt or something, or to their glove, or to their their bandage, or whatever the hell they have, the wrap, around their hands, and or sneak something in the eyeball so the other person can't see them, as they're getting their asses handed back to them, like things like that, where they had to fight dirty, and you, the underdog, you just stood your ground, and it was your resilience and your strength that got you through. It was maybe love of life, love of your family, love in general, the love of heart, like just having integrity and love in your heart. I can't say that enough. Like if you lose sight of love, sight of hope, sight of God, you lose sight of everything, man. Like then you just become them. So to this divine feminine, I'm extremely proud of you. I'm extremely proud of you. I want to make mention of this. Like there was 3 songs that came out after Tuesday, and it was like, once I start channeling with music, and it's something for me that's been for years, even before I knew that that's what I was doing as a child. But Tuesday, again, by Drake and whomever else, like I really don't care. The club is going up on a Tuesday, but not party on. I guess it's going to be a party for this like masculine energy that's ready to throw down and make things right. You know what I mean? And like put a damper on this naysayer, because he's ready to fight, and he says the club is going up on a Tuesday, but it's like, it's going up in flames, homie. It's going up in flames. You crazy if you think the party's going to continue. That's crazy. And they want me to shut up, not the fighter for me, or for you, but the naysayer. Like they want me to shut up. Like everything that I'm saying is too true and too deep. So I'm not, of course, at any rate anymore. I am so I have found my voice again. I have a hard time delivering messages anymore. I'm camera shy, and you will see me on camera on occasion, but for the most part it's just not my nature. But they didn't even want my voice to be seen or heard, and so I know that there were feminines who are in my position who have felt silenced, completely silenced, one way or another. Fear of retribution, fear of retaliation, fear in general. But there is such redemption coming through, and it's come in like the last, like I just started this channel, and there's only a few readings in here, and I ask my guides for what needs to be said. I do not have a topic in mind, so it just happens to be like a twin flame-ish type of energy. And I'm not trying to say that it is twin flame. It is definitely a soul contract. I kind of lost my flavor for twin flame energy a long time ago, but it's coming back because I'm coming back to life, and the feminine, the divine in me is rising, as well as within you. So life is yours to live in abundance, and so this mediocre breadcrumb and bullshit is done. And so you're gonna stir waters, but you have such a strong team of like you have a team of players that didn't intend to be on your side. Maybe some of them were like against you because of everything that they'd heard about you, and now that they're finding the truth, they can't have it. Like they cannot have it like that. It's not going to happen that way. So here comes the good fight. But finally, I forget who the hell sings that. I want to say Chris Brown, but I'm not sure. Where there's a message in there where like maybe for a minute the feminine did turn into a rebel. Like, congratulations, you done turned me to a effing rebel. She did. I know I did. I know I threw down. But nobody was listening, and so I had to tap back. Like, I'm still a rebel. I'm a rebel. I am a nonconformist. I follow my intuition, and especially in today's society, in today's life, holy schmoly guacamole, we definitely need to like keep intact with our deep inner knowing, and the only way to do that is to tap into your inner knowing. You cannot be following Tom, Dick, and Harry. I don't care what they say, man. Like, you have to know for yourself that what they're saying is true or not. And the only way that's going to happen is if it resonates or if it doesn't resonate. And how are you going to know if it resonates or doesn't resonate when you don't trust your own judgment, when you don't trust your own intuition? We are built with an intuition. We are built with a gut reference that lets us know right from wrong, whether it's for us and whether it's not, and we avoid it and we ignore it because, you know, it comes from a face that we love, and this person wouldn't hurt us, and this person wouldn't lie to us, and this person. Guess what? Yes, the fuck they do, and yes, they will, and yes, fuck they have. So we're in the year of the horse, right? And the rising feminine, like the feminines are rising like a mofo, and it's a beautiful energy. I love it. I'm thriving in it. But we've had to discard and let go a lot of misconceptions about ourselves and about those around us. Certainly about our society and our leaders and those leading us in not such a right way. Man, there's so much going on. And that's another reading altogether. But I do want to say, I would walk with my head high, chin up, and I mean with integrity, with confidence, with so much love and joy in your heart. Like, you don't have to prove anybody wrong, but continually prove them wrong about who and what you are and what you're here to do. Please. They're never going to stop, by the way. Like, they're never going to stop. So who has to stop it? You. And of course your helpers, they're here to help you, but like, who has to stop it? If you continually slink back in the side ground, or you know, like in the corner, then you're just going to, in the background of like, I don't want to be seen, I don't want to be heard, what if I cause ruffled waters, what if, that shit ends now. You use your voice, and you use it with strength and clarity. And the only way that you can do that is with integrity and with heart and with soul. Something of which some of these motherfuckers do not have. They know how to copycat and they know how to steal. I've said it before, you can cheat, you can steal, and you can lie, but you cannot cheat your way to your divine destiny in any way, shape, or form. You cannot cheat the divine. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you.